morning and welcome to Day 3's coverage from Star Wars Celebration. I'm your host Chris Cook for Toys of the Jedi, and today we'll be looking at some of the various different panels and what new characters were revealed that could be of interest to us as toy collectors. So the day started off with the live stream covering the Galaxy's Edge items. Now the actual panel was hosted by Joss Gad, and it's well worth having a look at that. I was actually thinking of putting it off for a couple of years now, but having seen this panel, it does look amazing. May have to try and revise my travel plans to get there a bit earlier. So some of the first images you can see on there was an animatronic Hondo Anaka, and he's going to be like the host for some of the bits and pieces there. And obviously we are getting the Black Series figure of him already. Going to be exclusive to the Galaxy's Edge shops, so you are going to have to get over there if you want to see him. But there were also a couple of other reveals, like this chap here, who's going to be a rather grumpy black market dealer. I didn't quite catch his name, unfortunately, but he is somebody that has potential for an interesting figure, certainly if the Galaxy's Edge does expand beyond just your core characters. So yeah, nice Ithorian character there. Hopefully he'd make a good figure somewhere along the lines. This time code here is where they actually show the Hondo Anaka animatronic talking, so well worth having a look at that at 1 hour 14 minutes on the clock. And then they did skip over to Ashley Eckstein presenting some of the items that were going to be in Galaxy's Edge that you can purchase. The one that particularly interests me is the Kowakian monkey lizard that you can see up on the chap's shoulder there. That's automated and reacts to what people are saying. It moves its head. Quite a fun little interesting character, one that might go well with a lot of people's sail barges to put alongside it. So yeah, worth checking that one out as well. Now, not strictly toy related, but certainly worthy of mention is the Star Wars Rebels panel. If you're a fan of the show, it's well worth having a catch up with this. This one started at 4 hours and 2 minutes into the stream. Dave Filoni is on fire during this panel, absolutely at his best. Really interesting to hear that guy talk. Could listen to him for hours. Really interesting to hear what he has to say. Like I say, not much in the way of toy stuff there, but he did get together with a couple of members of the cast, showed off some storyboards, and like I say, really interesting to hear what they all had to say about that. So do check that one out. Now, interspersed between all of the panels that they were live streaming, they did do some live stuff from the Star Wars show stage, and Hasbro did get a couple of slots on there. The first one was at the 2 hours 20 minute mark, and they did have a chat about the X-Wing pilot Luke helmet from the Black Series line that was revealed on Friday. They had obviously the 4 presenters up there giving a bit of a chat about that, so worth having a look at that one if you're interested. And then they also did a little bit later on a tour of the booth, and that was at about the 7 hours 40 mark, so quite a chance that a lot of people had actually gone to bed by this point. So I was pretty close to doing it myself, but I did stick it through to the very end. Have a little look at that one just to see what they have to say about that. There's nothing really new that wasn't gleaned in the panel, but yeah, it is more content if you're interested. On yesterday's show we mentioned Fantasy Flight Games' Imperial Hover Tank, and again one of the other people that were on the stage was Andrew Navarro, head of Fantasy Flight Games, and he had a bit of a chat about their new Super Star Destroyer. Now this model is absolutely fantastic, really detailed, not quite in scale with the other models that are in the range, but that's mainly because to do it at full scale it would be absolutely massive, a couple of foot long. Still worth taking a look at, even if you just get it on its own and you don't play the game, because the detailing on it is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, if you're interested in having a look at what he had to say, skip to 2 hours 26 minutes in the video and listen to that interview. And while there were plenty of other people up on stage showcasing various different bits and pieces, the other one I'm going to pick out is the Lego team that were showcasing their new Tantive V4 blockade runner model. Now this one is a very nice piece. It comes with 6 different minifigures there: Bail Organa, Rebel Fleet Trooper, R2-D2, Princess Leia, C-3PO, and it looks like Captain Antilles. He looks a little bit worried, bless him. Now this is a lovely little set. Certainly if you're interested to hear what they have to say about this set, skip to about the 2 hours and 11 minute mark. You'll be able to see that interview in full. Now, one of the other big panels of the day was Star Wars Jedi: The Fallen Order. This is a new computer game coming from EA Games later on the year, and there's some potential for some really interesting characters for this. We have had characters from computer games in the past. The Force Unleashed had quite a decent size range for figures. Battlefront, not so much. It had a couple, but there were a couple out there, so there's no reason that we can't get some of these. Now, the main character in this game is Cal. This is who you play, and he's already got a couple of different outfits throughout the scene. One where he's sort of just a regular worker, trying to keep as low a profile as possible, and one where he seems to be a little bit more similar looking to actually the Starkiller figure. He will, of course, come with a lightsaber, so plenty of new opportunities for Hasbro to crank those out, but also one for the smaller figures as well. Particularly like the concept art for the character. He doesn't look quite identical in the final film, but in the final game, but yeah, still certainly very interesting look to the character. It feels Star Warsy enough for me to work with. Now, some of the other bits and pieces that they did show in the trailer were, obviously, he's working as a reclamation chap, collecting spare parts and what have you for the Empire, and one of the things he stumbles across as part of it is a Jedi starfighter, so there's a good chance that we'll be able to make a toy out of that. Again, looks like a droid in that shot as well. It looks like an Abnedo, I think that's the species of his buddy here that he ends up trying to save. A little bit of a Half-Life feel to the character design there, not the character design, the costume design on this figure as well, possibly falling into some sort of maybe a Sarlacc pit, I don't know, some sort of big monster anyway with plenty of teeth. So yeah, scope for a couple of figures there. Moving on, we have got the images of a new spaceship, and I think this is the ship of the person that will actually be doing Cal's training along the lines. It looks like a big one, certainly with that massive vane off the top. I'm assuming that's for steering, but I'm not sure how well or how easily that would translate to a toy, but certainly worth giving a go if the game proves to be very popular. Now, on the far right here, you've got the ship's pilot. I'm not entirely certain of this character's species. He looks a bit like the character that Warwick Davis played in Rogue One, Wheateeth, I think it was. So, yeah, possibly that sort of species, but again, another potential for a new character. The one in the middle there, she's actually going to be Cal's mentor in this, so yeah, I would assume we would get a figure of her if they do go with this line. Certainly interesting character design on the costume as well, so yeah, another good one there. Now, I think these are the ones that obviously all the trooper collectors will be looking out for. These are sort of your next step up from stormtroopers, because they're a bit too easy to kill apparently for Cal, so something with a bit of a challenge. They come with an electro staff, as you can see there, and nicely armoured characters. They do remind me a bit of some of the clone troopers from Revenge of the Sith in the helmet design, and obviously with the time period that this is set in, that's not unreasonable to imagine why that's the case. But it's a nice character design. Again, this one I can see absolutely being a Black Series figure, almost no doubt about it. So yes, good shout on that one. Now, the trailer also revealed some images of a new Inquisitor. This is the second sister. Obviously, I think we had the seventh in the Rebels TV series, and it's a very similar design to that, but obviously it's a completely masked version at the moment. We see her jumping around, very agile, able to take down the ship apparently using the Force. So yeah, certainly an interesting character and a good look again to this one. We didn't get much in the way of second sister merchandise. I think there was one figure released and that was about it. So yeah, this one's another good shout and a good candidate to be made into a film. And finally, we have Cal's buddy. Literally, they've named him BD1 for Buddy 1. Little robot there, and there's a clearer image of what he's like. This could be a fun little pack-in figure to go with him. I assume he would come, like I say, as an accessory to Cal if we do get these sort of figures. definitely feels like Star Wars to me. I like this, like the design on this character here. A little bit of a feel of the AT-ST Walker, but much shrunken down into a droid format. And again, you've got the arms there that look very astromech type. So yeah, good choice. So that was the main sort of new potential characters that we gleaned from the panels that were shown yesterday. Outside of that, we did also get a huge image release from Litsky PR of all of the Hasbro products that were coming up. So right at the top, the San Diego Comic-Con Darth Vader prototype figure. This is the one that's multicoloured. And Star Wars Action News actually did complete a Q&A with Hasbro a little later on in the day, and they revealed there that the only limitations on how these are combined are that the head and the torso must be a different colour, no more than 2 limbs in the same colour, and the lightsaber has to be a different colour to the arm that it comes out of. So variation hunters are going to have an absolute nightmare with this if they want to try and track down every single iteration of that. And again, I'm not even sure if there is going to be a catalogue of which potential combinations they have actually done. So good luck with this, variation hunters. Drop a link, drop a comment in the video down below. How are you going to approach this? Is this just throw your hands up and go, no, not going to bother. I'm going to get one and just live with it, or are you just, what's your tactics there? Outside of that, we also got the Boba Fett lovely carded images, really nice high-res ones there, and also some of the other exclusives, such as the Obi-Wan Kenobi in his clone armor. Very nice figure, this one, as we've said yesterday, so very much looking forward to that. So they also sent out some nice new images of the Galaxy's Edge exclusives. So this is your C-3PO, R2-D2, DJ Rex and BB-8 4-pack. The Chewbacca, Rey, Porgs and Hondo Anaka 4-pack. And the Captain Pyre, Kylo Ren and Mountain Trooper with the mouse droid, technically a 4-pack. So again, yeah, these are all Galaxy's Edge. Very nice images here. These are just the high-res versions. Moving on from those, we also got some boxed images of the next wave of Black Series. So this is going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi, and this is the same as a Celebration one, but obviously just in the standard mainline release. BT-1, 000, Chopper, Dr. Aphra, and Ezra Bridger. Some lovely new images of that Emperor Palpatine in the 6-inch scale. This is the one with the multiple heads, multiple hands, the throne, and it's going to be the deluxe package one, a nice big box there. So nice glam images of the Black Series archive line. So we have the Anakin Skywalker, the Darth Maul. Now this again is the same as the one that's being released as an exclusive at Celebration. The Biker Scout, this is the one that initially came packed with a speeder bike. And Yoda, again this was a single carded one, so a good chance to get him if you missed him the first time around. So looking at the vintage collection figures, we did get some lovely images of the new card backs for the Luke Skywalker Crate Wave. So yeah, Luke Skywalker in this one. We've also got the Death Star Gunner, the Imperial Assault Tank Commander, and that R2-D2 on a Star Wars card. The other San Diego Comic-Con exclusive that I didn't mention earlier is the Luke Skywalker 3-pack. Now, the images here, there's a couple of different ones, and I think you'll agree that it really is a nice set. Big improvement on the Luke Jedi figure over the previous ones that we've had, and I've got to say I do quite like the packaging on this one. Wasn't always a huge fan of the action figure 3-packs, but this one does look quite nice. We did get a single boxed image of the Tatooine skiff. Now, like I said in the video the other day, quite glad that this is they've used this style of photography rather than the drawn one of the Power of the Force Kenner version. And they've also released some beautiful images of the 3-pack of Jabba's skiff guards. These are all the single carded ones packed within another box. If I'm perfectly honest, I would have preferred that they did the Luke Skywalker one this way, so that we could have got a Luke Stormtrooper on a vintage card, Jedi Knight on a vintage card, and an updated X-Wing pilot on a vintage card. But hey, maybe they're saving that down the road, and we'll get them a little bit further on. Who knows? So as I alluded to earlier, Star Wars Action News did manage to get some time with the Hasbro reps and ask them a few questions. They did put out a tweet earlier on in the day to ask if you had any questions for them to ask. Now, the ones they managed to get in were that they confirmed that there is a potential for more retro-styled figures if they do well. There's even the possibility of new media from the sequel and prequel trilogy, even droids and Ewoks working their way into the line if there is the demand for it. So again, it's one of those that if you want these things, shout up, support the line, that sort of thing, go get them. They also managed to confirm, as we speculated earlier, that the Retro Starburst is in fact a sticker and can be removed from the packaging. So good news for some people there. They also got in a question about the Resistance / Galaxy of Adventures 5 POA figures and were they going to continue. Now, Hasbro had nothing to confirm as yet. Arnie did press a little further by asking if Resistance Wave 2 was still scheduled to ship, and there was a clear look between the two Hasbro reps, Patrick and Sam, that said, I didn't think we'd announced those, so I imagine that they are in the pipeline, but there's nothing concrete yet. Arnie then brought up the frustration around the Black Series Galaxy's Edge figures, the exclusive ones, and the Hasbro reps are aware of the frustration, but they also clarified that without Galaxy's Edge, these figures wouldn't exist. They couldn't get another exclusive partner to support these figures and make them possible. So they are going to be, like I say, available only in Galaxy's Edge, not other Disney stores, but they're not just available on first day, they are available for the foreseeable future. So plenty of time for somebody to go over there, get those figures and bring them back for you with any luck, if not yourself. The action figure stands that came with the recent Luke Skywalker with his slick back hair from the Death Star trash compactor and the Rocket Jump Trooper, they asked if those were going to become a standardised part of the line. Now, it isn't part of the plan. If fans make more noise, then there's a potential that they'll look into it, but at the moment it isn't something that's definitely going to be in the main line side of things. Interestingly, in Japan, the same Black Series figures, which are marketed by Tomy, I think, over there, do all come with a figure stand. This is because the Japanese market all expect a figure stand as a bare minimum to come with their figures. So it's not necessarily out of the question. Make enough noise and potentially we could be getting those in the Black Series. Now, obviously, a couple of years back we did get the 6-inch First Order TIE Fighter, and what would you expect to accompany that but an X-Wing? Now, Hasbro have said it is difficult as that particular ship, the X-Wing, is very wide and very long, so it doesn't fit on many shelves very easily, and there were already a lot of people griping that the TIE Fighter was too big. So they haven't ruled it out necessarily, and if there is demand for it, it is a possibility, but it's not necessarily something that they want to announce at the moment. So finally, the Hasbro Pulse poll winner, Luke Dagobah, will not be coming with a Yoda or a backpack. They confirmed there is the potential for a different pack down the road to do that, but the initial figure that's going to be coming on that 40th anniversary style card back will not come with either of those items. And that's our show for today. If you've enjoyed the show, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to make sure you get a heads up anytime we release a new video. I do want to say a massive thank you to the team at Star Wars Action News for all their coverage so far this weekend. Been absolutely invaluable, and also for getting the time with Hasbro to do that Q&A. We will obviously be releasing a new video tomorrow, and that'll be covering all of the panels that we have today. I think we've got the Mandalorian one to look forward to and the Clone Wars one, so maybe we'll get some potential for some new figures there, maybe even some potential reveals if they actually take a figure onto the stage and present it to somebody. Who knows? We can live in hope. But yeah, we will be releasing that video tomorrow, so look forward to that one. Until next time.